Welcome, welcome, welcome!
Pay attention, son. This is for your own good.
Look at me, I'm a big shot. I have a phone. I don't wake up in a dumpster every morning. I probably have a pocket to keep my phone in, too.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
I love jello pudding pop. My son Theo loves jello pudding pop.
Pleased to present for your consideration.
Well, let's start the insanity.
Hey, it's a two broke fella. No, not the two broke. No, not the two broke guys, eh? And they love to touch my leg.
Joe's back. I listened back to our pod from last week.
Yes,
I like your Joe Biden impression.
it's okay. It's all my impressions are slightly bad,
but that's why
but also slightly okay.
I think that's why I like them.
And they love to touch my leg. I got a little cold, so I can't. I'm struggling with it this week. But yeah, here's your impression for you.
Okay.
Excuse me. This is just a laugh impression. You got to guess who it is based on the laugh.
Oh.
Hold on. Let me try again. I've done better.
Is this an actor?
Yeah,
a
an
character?
Actor. It's an actor.
That's how he really laughs. That's how the actor laughs in real life.
Yeah, and I've done it better. For some reason, I'm not doing it great right now because I'm on the spot. The camera's in front of me.
Because you're congested.
The heat of the light.
I don't know. Who is it?
Seth Rogen.
Oh, yeah. That's a pretty good Seth Rogen
It's okay.
laugh.
I've done better.
No, I like it.
So, yeah, fighting off the sickness. Been fighting it all week.
You're down with the sickness.
Yeah. Christoph called me earlier and said, hey, you want to get something to eat? And I said, well, I can't taste anything. Then we went back and forth like two schoolgirls trying to figure out what to do. Should we go sit down? Should we?
Well, really, my concern was if you can't taste, it's really up to you where we go. Because
I would think the opposite. I would think because I can't taste, who cares? You
yeah,
pick.
I don't know. Like, do you even want to eat if you can't taste?
Still got to eat.
Yeah.
Still got to eat.
So we ended up at, we made a run for the border.
That's right.
I got the...
we made it rain. Rain fire sauce.
I got the we go for the broke box.
Yeah.
They don't call it that there, but that's what we call
That's
it, the
what
broke
they
box. But my broke box was not right. It was missing an item, and it was the signature item. I went with the chicken box.
Yes.
And there was no chicken.
No chicken. And then I specified no sour cream.
You got extra
and
sour
no
cream.
tomatoes. And then I got an extra sour cream. I think it was extra.
Yeah, in place of tomatoes, they added sour cream.
Yeah, and then on the taco, there was just cheese and meat. No lettuce.
Which is how I order my tacos, but I didn't get it that way.
It's crazy.
Hey, but it was food, and it was broke box, and
I could taste it. I couldn't taste earlier today.
Yeah.
So, yep.
You're winning.
I'm winning at life. That's true.
Maybe the sour cream broke the curse of no taste.
Well, I did spray.
Maybe sour cream is medicine to you.
I heard it's horse dewormer or something like that.
Yes.
That's what I heard on the
It is
QAnons.
also that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How was your QAnon meeting this week? You guys?
We don't talk about it, but it was good. I think I have
I know
people
you're
out
not
there
supposed-
wondering, thinking
I know
that
you're not
I really
supposed
am.
to give details, but I was just wondering, was it like spaghetti night?
Listen, let's just say there's something big that's going to happen in 3 weeks. That's all I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just saying JFK Jr., aliens, George Washington, and Mr. T. That's all I'm saying.
That's how you connect
saying
the
anything
dots.
about
You connect the dots.
Aliens, JFK Jr., Mr. T, George Washington,
Yeah.
and one Bill Cosby. That's it. I'm not going to say anything else.
That's it. That's all you're giving us.
In this lamp. That's
Okay.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
QAnon.
QAnon. Is it real? We had our guest from last week, Frank Downs, was posting something on the. I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to read it, but it was something about QAnon on our board.
I did not get notified of that.
I think he's offering to give people tours or something like that. I don't on the real QAnon. So
on their website.
I guess.
Well, he told us he could like navigate us to the dark web.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do that.
it just it feels
I
like
think you go on a list if you do that.
You go on a list, and then
And I don't want to be on a list.
Yeah.
I'm probably already on a list. Probably on several.
and Agent Smith breaks through your door. Did you ever watch Matrix 4, by the way?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I'd be interested to hear your review.
Yeah.
I'm pretty mixed on it. The longer I get from it, the worse I feel about it. I don't know. I
But
probably
is
need
it
to watch
one?
it again.
Is it one you got to watch again?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to give too much away. But,
Yeah.
I did watch a freaky movie the other night.
Yeah.
I think it's called Antlers. So it's about this boy. The very beginning of the movie, it opens up with this boy, and he's at work with his dad. His dad works in this warehouse. Really, he's doing meth in an empty warehouse. He's making meth or something.
He's a cook.
He's a cook. But the boy hears something. It's like real dark in the warehouse, and the boy hears something. And then the dad is back working on the meth, and he hears something. And basically,
An evil deer.
an evil something going on.
That has
and
antlers.
So, yeah, you find out that the one boy is still alive. I don't know. It's this whole thing, but it was pretty freaky.
It was freaky?
It was freaky.
Were you a little freaked out when it ended?
I don't get freaked out.
Oh.
I don't get freaked out with movies.
Has there ever been a movie when you finished watching it, you were like locking the doors or checking the windows or?
Well, I watch a lot of real life serial killer stuff.
Yeah.
And I will always double check the doors, and I don't always sleep great knowing that. That's part of the reason I bought a gun, and I sleep next to a gun now because I watch too many serial killer stuff.
Where's your wife sleep?
Where she sleep?
Yeah, if you're next to the gun.
Oh, well, I have two sides to the bed.
Oh,
So she's on one side, gun's on the other side.
all right.
I only hug one of them.
Susan gets
Sorry,
cold
Susan.
at night.
So you don't want to break into my house. That's all I'm saying.
That's right, because he'll
Locked and loaded, fingerprint safe.
boom. Are you going to do the concealed carry
I
class?
think I am. I'm thinking about it.
So I'm doing work for a customer. Her son runs a concealed carry class.
Oh, really?
Not too far away from here. And I told him maybe in the spring.
Are you going to do it?
Yeah.
We should do it together.
Yeah.
And film it for the podcast.
I wonder if they'd let you do that.
I don't know. Hey, you got it in with the son, it sounds like.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he runs that class. I told him spring. And, yeah, he was all about it.
Huh.
Obviously, because he's got a new customer.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I want to do that.
I'm going to try to.
This is a Second Amendment sanctuary state.
Yeah.
Our governor said Second Amendment will never go out of style here.
And I believe him. It also is going to be, I've heard it's going to be one of those states where you don't need a concealed carry really soon.
So it's you don't need a permit to
You
carry
don't need
concealed?
a permit or whatever.
Because it's an open carry state. You can carry
Oh, yeah.
your gun as long as it can
But you
be
won't
seen.
need, like, the permit or, like,
Oh, wow.
those states. I guess Texas is one of those states, maybe.
Yeah.
And so I believe that's on the table.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Move to Nebraska, everybody.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you see open carry and concealed carry states,
Yeah.
lower crime rates.
We were talking about Mr. Biden, Mr. President, last week, and I found the clip. Let's see if it works. I'm playing it from this computer. I normally play things from my phone, but I don't know. You've probably heard this one. You could take a look if you want, or if you just want to listen.
I'll listen.
Okay, let's see if it'll work. And it didn't. That's great. That's great podcast. Here we go. Not working. Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's because I turned the volume down because I was switching things.
Oh, there you go.
Let's try it one more time.
One more again.
One more again.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down, so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
What?
And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. And by the way, you know,
Sorry. Started over.
He's got to stick to the
And I
script,
love
man.
kids jumping on my lap.
Yeah, he freestyled touching
learned
my
about
legs.
roaches.
Roaches. What does that have to do with any of that? And kids jumping on my lap. And I love it.
And that's when he was running. It's just a stutter.
Who knows what he's talking about?
I don't.
He
Yeah.
don't.
He don't either. I had an interesting situation this week. I went, so the truck I left the lights on one night, and you had to go
yeah.
over. We were at a basketball game out of town, and I said, Christoph, I think I left the lights on. We go turn them off, and by that time the battery's pretty much gone. And so, like every other morning, I'll try to start it up. So the battery was getting, I would jump it, and then I'd jump it 2 days later. So I just needed a new battery. So I took it in. My dad had bought it because it's his truck at Interstate, which supposed to be a pretty reputable place. And
All
they
sell is
guarantee.
batteries.
All they do is batteries.
Right.
On the battery, it literally has a sticker that says 2000. I don't know. It's 4 years ago, so
2018.
Yeah, and it's a 6-year warrant, 6-year guarantee or whatever on it.
Yeah.
So I take it in. He goes, "Oh yeah, it's just good for 6 months."
What?
I'm like, and right away I knew this guy didn't want to help me. He just wasn't. He wasn't having it. And I was like, "Well, it says 6-year guarantee." He goes, "Yeah, well, it's prorated." And he just looks at me and said, "Okay, what do you mean?" Well, prorated is like, no, I know what prorated means. What is it prorated? He goes, well, it'd probably you'd probably get 10% off a new battery. I'm like, okay, so my dad bought a battery with says 6-year guarantee on it, and it's good for 6 months. And I get 10% off buying a new battery here.
Right.
That seems like a great deal for you guys.
Yeah.
So anyway, I look at their prices. I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy a battery here, so I leave. And then I'm like, you know what? I should probably have them check it to make sure it is the battery, because I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh yeah.
But you should, test it.
Right.
Carry the battery back in.
Mm-hmm.
Say, hey, can you test this? He goes, oh, is it fully charged? I was like, I don't know. That's what I want you to tell me. I said, I don't think it is. He goes, oh, I can only test it if it's fully charged. I said, you only do batteries here. You guys are Interstate battery. I don't even think they're tire and battery. Are they tire and battery?
I think it's just batteries.
Interstate batteries. You do not have a way to test a battery in this store. No, I can just test it. I can tell you if it's fully charged. That's it. And he comes over with this little thing and does the 2 wires. He goes, yeah, it's not telling me anything. I said, okay, I will go give O'Reilly's my business because I know that they'll test it right away.
Yeah.
And they did. And I went over there and I told the guys at O'Reilly's, I was like, you guys are way more helpful than the Interstate, because they wouldn't even test my battery. And I told them the story. They're like, how the heck would you even know?
Yeah. That's
So-
why you're bringing it in.
So don't go to Interstate, at least not the one in Grand Island.
So did you have to replace it?
Yeah, I did replace it. Yep. It's been running like a charm, but O'Reilly's got the business. It's just weird that you walk in. I know you can check a battery. Why are you lying to me?
And O'Reilly's has a better commercial.
Yeah.
You know the song.
Oh. Sponsored by O'Reilly's this
That's
episode.
this segment.
So, yeah, it was a weird day. I try not to get rude with people, and I wasn't rude with them, but I was a little smart. Like,
Well,
you can't test a battery.
We mentioned it last week or the week before. People love to not know.
People love to not know something.
That's what that is.
People
man.
love to not know
He's
something.
like, yeah, I can't help you. And like, why is he guessing on the warranty and the prorate? Like, it's
I know.
prorated. So
He
what
just
does that
didn't wanna
mean?
help
It's probably like 10%.
Well, I guess
What's probably? It should be a probably. You should
know.
like punch a key on the computer and tell me.
Also, don't put a guarantee on your battery if it's not guaranteed for that. And also run for 6 years if it says it's going to run for 6 years.
Yeah.
Also, if someone brings it in to test and you could make a sale off a new battery, like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, if it's prorated and it's a 6-year guarantee and you got 4 years out of it, you got 2/3.
Yeah.
So your next battery should be a third off.
Yeah.
That's what that says.
Mm-hmm.
He's not good at math.
10%. He's not good at his job, whoever that was. So it was just a weird. And then I called my dad. I said, yeah, I wouldn't use Interstate anymore. He goes, yeah, I went to them because they're like reputable.
Right.
And he said, and now that I'm thinking about it, when I bought the new battery and they installed it wrong, and so it disconnected down the street. So I had to, so he goes, I guess that should have been a red flag.
Yeah. Maybe if all they sell is batteries and they don't know how to install it, that tells you something too.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow.
Pretty crazy. So I wouldn't use them.
Yeah.
And I don't
do
like
it.
to normally throw the business name out there, but they were so like
They were
couldn't
that
care
bad?
less. They couldn't care less.
Yeah.
O'Reilly's took good care of me. And that's why they're a sponsor. Need a battery? Need a tire? Need anything else? Call O'Reilly's. O'Reilly's. They'll get her done. That's the commercial. It'd be cool if we do get sponsors one day and
Yeah.
we'll have stuff to read.
Wait, you're giving away the fact that all our sponsors are made up.
No, I meant. So we had Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Did you do a romantic dinner?
I did steak and shrimp and mashed potatoes. That's our normal go-to.
Yeah.
Because you can't really like steak. It's hard to beat, so we normally go with steak.
Yeah.
What'd you guys do?
We were real simple, man. My wife was like, hey, we spent money on the kids, extra money on a couple other people. Let's not spend money on ourselves.
Yeah.
What do you got in the fridge for meals for meals this week? I'm like, there's a chicken pot pie. She's like, I love chicken pot pie. That's what we're having for Valentine's dinner.
I'm down with that.
Kept it simple. Yep.
We do that all the time. Yep. We've even done that for anniversaries. Like, what do we got? Let's just, okay.
It was a Sam's Club chicken pot pie. It's gigantic.
Yeah. Is it good?
Pretty good, yeah. They do those, like, prepped meals there.
Yeah.
That I had been hearing good things about. Because normally I cook generally from scratch.
Yeah.
And except for mashed potatoes. I love instant mashed potatoes. But my wife loves homemade. So
how much is it?
I alternate.
How much does a chicken pot pie, giant one from Sam's, run you?
$18.
Oh. How does it feed like a family?
We ate half of it. The whole family
Oh,
only
wow.
consumed half of it. So, yeah, it's.
Huh.
There were leftovers for the next
I'm going to blow
day.
my nose now. Sorry.
He's congested. Oh, do you do the neti pot?
I have one. I don't really do it. I should do it. Maybe I should try it tonight.
Have you ever done it?
Yeah, I've done it once or twice.
It's such a weird sensation, but man, it works for me.
It hasn't worked for me, but I may try. Maybe I'll try it.
It's ancient Chinese medicine.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Do you have the saline packets? You got to add the salt to the water.
I probably do in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to do that. It's weird. You feel it in your eyes and your ears and back of your throat. And
I'm going to try it.
in one nostril and out the other.
I'm on my way out of it. Like, I've been pretty congested. I was pretty sick this week, actually. And the weird thing is, like, I had COVID a month ago. This week was way worse than COVID for me. Had it all up in my head, but I'm on the way out now, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I should try the neti pot.
Neti pot.
And yesterday, I'm an idiot because the first 2 or 3 days of being sick.
Is this our segment? Here's why I'm dumb?
Here's why I'm dumb.
Okay.
Here's why I'm dumb. I didn't think about taking vitamins or anything. I just laid there sick for like 2 days. And then I think it was yesterday. I was like, wait, we probably got a bunch of vitamins and stuff. What am I doing? We did. We had I took Zicam. I've been loading up and ODing on vitamin D,
C.
vitamin C,
Zinc.
zinc. We had zinc tablets. I've been doing all that junk. Yeah, so I
But
could
you
have
were
been
sick.
better
You weren't
already.
thinking right.
I was not thinking right. I was out of it for a few days this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually recording on a Friday. We normally do it on Wednesday just because I kept pushing
You
it
just
back.
weren't, you weren't ready.
I
That's
wasn't
all right.
ready. I was still,
You're on the upswing.
I'm
now,
not
though.
clowning. I'm not clowning tonight. Whatever the heck that means.
I don't know what that means.
He's clowning, baby. Isn't that from there's a Vince Vaughn movie where it's like he's clowning, baby, or something like that.
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
see way more
maybe I
movies
made
than
it
I
up.
do. And you remember a lot more about the movies you see than I do.
Possibly. We need to watch. There's a couple movies on our list that we need to watch.
What's your favorite?
Well,
There Will Be Blood?
no,
No.
but that is up.
I get that confused with the other one.
Yeah, No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
And then there's Whiplash, the drummer
Oh,
movie
yeah. I
I've
haven't
been
seen that
telling you
either.
about.
Yeah.
Awesome movie. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the two that we need to hook it up. Perchance tonight.
Yeah, why not? We got nothing going on.
Hey, should on a normal Valentine's Day, should guys get a present? I was thinking about that this week because we've always done it. I always go out and get stuff for the kids and Susan. It's all cool, but then I get to watch them eat chocolate for 4 days, especially Susan because I hooked Susan up this year.
Yeah.
And so I told her, I said, you need to hide your candy because I'm too tempted and I got you too much and I don't have anything. So
Did
you need to hide
after,
it.
Did you get after that heart-shaped box a little bit? Your mom gave me some chocolates.
Oh, yeah, I did get some for my mom.
Got a little 5-piece chocolate mini
Yeah,
box.
my
That
mom
was
gave me
nice.
some. Yep.
Yeah.
But that lasted 3 seconds. I scarfed it down.
That was during
little-
the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, they don't last at all.
No, that was gone.
So I have to watch everybody eat chocolates, which is okay,
Yeah.
and I can go get my own, but I don't because I'm too lazy. But do you normally get something on Valentine's? And keep in mind this is a PG rating.
I was wondering where we were going with that question.
Get candy or something, or
I think that Honey is just kind of so chill with that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Like with
Do you get flowers?
with the Hallmark holidays.
Do you get flowers for her?
So I was on my way to get flowers, and she actually called me. She's like, "I know you're probably going to get flowers. Just get flowers for your daughter. Don't get any for me.
Huh.
Get them for me in a couple weeks, and then I'll be really surprised. But
Yeah.
you don't have to buy me flowers on the Hallmark holiday."
Yeah.
So that's kind of her thing.
Okay.
And I went to a florist first, and
Bad
it
idea.
was it was on Valentine's Day because I guess you can order them or whatever, but I don't understand buying flowers like a couple days ahead because they only last a few days. So you got to get them day of.
Yeah.
That's my mind. You got to get them day of so that they're the freshest. But I walked into that florist, and look, their stuff looked right. I mean, it was. They did a good job with presentation.
Yeah.
But it was crazy expensive.
Oh yeah, it's stupid expensive.
Like a little 6 rose thing was $50. So
6 roses.
I went to Walmart.
That's what I get them all at Walmart, and I do get them early. I don't get them the day of because I just look for ones that haven't hatched yet. Whatever you call it, sprouted. What's the word? What's the word? You know what I'm saying?
Do you have any unhatched flowers?
But I look for some that are
They
like
haven't
on
started.
the verge.
They haven't started to
I get 'em
bloom.
through
Is that the word?
bloom.
Yeah.
Yes.
I prefer hatched.
I like
Let's
hatched
stick with
better.
hatched. Yeah.
Makes more sense to
I
me.
need flowers that haven't hatched yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense too. Yeah. Going for the
Great
unhatched.
Nirvana album, In Hatched. Yeah. So I get them a few days in advance.
Did you see the thing about Kurt Cobain's crime scene photos or whatever? I saw a headline today that.
I mean,
they
I've watched
released more
documentaries
pictures or
on it.
something?
I've been to the spot. That
Did he kill
happened.
himself, or was he killed?
Well, here's the thing: the gun, I guess, was too long. I personally, if you're asking me personally,
Yeah. What's your thoughts?
I think Courtney did it.
She did
not
it.
her herself, but I believe she hired, and I think they found it. Like the guy I've watched on documentary, I'm pretty sure it's this big guy that she hired to do it. I'm pretty sure.
Is she still around? She gone now.
She's still
correct?
around. She's
Oh,
still
she
around.
is.
Yeah, I think if you're, I mean, I don't know. I have no facts other than what I've watched documentaries. I've
Yeah.
done the reading. I've read his book, even not his book, but even his journal entries. I bought that back in the day.
Yeah.
I was really into him
Right.
for a while. But I think I don't think he was in the right state of mind to do it. And I think the gun was too long.
Yeah.
Like one of the cops said, he had to have done it with his toes. And even at that state of mind, he wouldn't have been able to with how much drugs were in his system.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, and the thing was, like, the cops did not do their due diligence. If you look at like their reports and stuff, they really didn't. They just like, oh, another suicide, you know. I don't think he did it.
Wow.
So pretty. But then again, you listen to like Dave Grohl and guys, and they're like, he was not comfortable with fame. He didn't like it. He didn't see a way out. So I mean, it wasn't like it was beyond him. Like it's unbelievable that he would do that, but
Right.
I don't think he did.
Well, and, yeah, it was like in his stomach or chest too, right? Like not a traditional location for a shot.
Oh, I thought it was his head. I don't know. I haven't. It's been a while since I looked into all that.
I could be totally incorrect.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I was just curious because you brought him up. It was one of those conspiracy deals, right?
Yeah.
I was just curious your thoughts on it.
Yeah, I went to. I was out in Seattle.
You went to his house
6 years ago, and there was a couple spots I wanted to see, and that was one of them.
Really?
And it's kind of cool because I went to the house, and right next door. I mean, like we're in church right now. The parking lot would be. There's a park. It's not a park with. It just got a couple park benches.
Yeah.
It's basically just. It's on a hill.
Yeah.
And right next to it, they call it. What do they call it? There's a name for it, Memorial Park or something like that. And there's a bench, a stone. You could stone's throw from where it happened. They've since torn down the building, but I stood where the building was. They have a fence up, but you can go right up to where it was. You can actually look out. It was crazy because he had a big window, I guess, on the shed. It was
So you
upstairs
could
of the shed.
see
the
was
view
seeing.
of what he would have been seeing. It's like it, and it's a
Real surreal,
beautiful
huh?
view.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, like it was an awesome house. It's not secluded. It's in a neighborhood, but he had a big gate up, and so you couldn't get up there. But
they tore the house down?
They didn't tear the house down. They tore down the shed where it happened. It was up for many years,
Yeah.
but they've since torn it down, and they have a big fence up in the front, so you can't go see the house. Right? I mean, you can see the house from the park. You can look over, and there it is. And then there's a bench right next to where he did it, and people go and they write messages to him and they leave flowers. And
Oh wow!
but when I went, it was eerie because it was a beautiful day in the spring. No one was there. I was there all by myself, and I was just walking around and
How long ago
listening
was
to his
that?
music. 94 is when he did it.
94.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
April 4th, I think, 94, or maybe April 12th. I think April 4th, 1994.
I thought it was like 20 years ago, but it's almost 30.
Oh no,
years
it's
ago.
coming up on 30.
Holy cow!
Yeah. I mean,
I am old.
Nevermind is like 30 years.
I'm old.
Because Nevermind, I think, came out in 91. Smells Like Teen Spirit. I think it's all 91, man.
Jeez.
Crazy.
I mean, I have these realizations several times a week about
Oh yeah,
being old, but
Yeah.
like the halftime show,
yeah.
right? Yeah, I think you showed me a meme that was like, remember when they used to do the halftime show for old people? You know, it was
Yeah.
like the old people artists, and now they're doing this, and then you realize, oh,
Yeah,
you're the
I'm
old
the old
person.
people.
What'd you think about Super Bowl? Give me thoughts on Super Bowl,
yeah.
commercials, and halftime show.
I thought the Super Bowl was pretty boring. I didn't think it was great. There was a couple. I mean, I did like the end of the game. The end of the game was pretty exciting, but other than that, I mean, it was cool that it was close because
It's
all
hard
the
when you
games-
don't really have a dog in the fight, right?
I just wanted to shut down Burrow, to be honest, and I'm sorry for the Bengals fans.
Is it the suit?
It was the suit. I think his head's a little too big. Although, what have you seen the clip? It's hilarious. There's a clip of him where he's walking around in the Super Bowl, and he's walking around introducing himself to the Rams players. Like, hey, man, I grew up watching you. How you doing, man? Shaking their and everyone's nice to him. Like, man,
Yeah.
you're killing it out there. Keep going. Like, it is kind of cool. I've seen a lot more of that this year of, like, when they have mic up the players. Of
Yeah.
players on opposing teams being nice to each other.
Right.
And that's,
Well, and it's always funny when it's like young rookie, first, second year, right?
yeah.
And you're playing against guys that you watched when you were a kid, right? Because
Yeah.
he was only a kid, right? He was in high
Yeah.
school 4 or 5 years ago,
It's crazy.
So guys that have been in the league a decade,
Yeah.
right? He was watching them as he's a kid.
And then you're playing.
And then you got guys like Brady who play till they're 40-something. And so, of course, some of those guys weren't even born yet. Some of the new rooks weren't even born yet when Brady started in the league.
I'm going to play you one more clip.
Who you got?
This is it's at the Super Bowl. So The Rock, I don't know if you noticed, were you there when The Rock came out and he did his "This is the Super Bowl," which was cheesy.
He
And I
was
think everyone
doing
was like,
he was doing the wrestler rock thing, like finally.
yeah, I don't know. It just didn't. It was weird. I don't know if you can watch this if you want.
Okay.
I'll play it for you.
Yep.
Hopefully the audio works. It might take a minute to load up here. This is the players mic'd up.
Has come back to Los Angeles.
Coach is laughing at him.
What is he doing out there?
Is that Joe Burrow?
He's on kickoff return. They signed him.
You in 10 years.
Time for the Super Bowl.
I like his shoes.
Just
Joe
funny.
Burrow. I like his shoes.
They're kind of clowning on him. Like,
Right.
that's, he says to the one guy, it's the guy that made the big tackle at the end. Anyway, someone says to him, "That's going to be you in 10 years in your acting career." I don't know. It's just kind of funny. I like the mic'd up clips.
Yeah,
Of,
those are funny.
yeah.
Well, and it's like Joe Burrow. He knows The Rock as an actor, so when
Mm-hmm.
he's doing The Rock, the wrestler intro,
Yeah.
because that's what he did.
That's
when he come
true.
into the ring, he go, "Finally, The Rock has come back to whatever city they're in."
Yeah.
Right. That's what he did as a wrestler.
Yeah.
But Joe Burrow probably never saw him wrestle.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, he would have been way young.
Yeah. So when he says, "What's he doing?" he probably doesn't have a clue what he's doing.
Did he say, "Do you smell what the," or anything like that? I don't think he
No.
did. It was
No.
cheesy. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not a big Rock fan right now. He's too wishy-washy for me. But, yeah.
He's a gigantic man.
He is a giant man.
I think that's
I
steroids.
still like his movies.
He's got to be on the road.
Someone posted a meme.
That's not natural.
No, he's yeah.
His
Especially,
shoulders.
he's 50 in his 50s now, right?
His shoulders are as big as my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone posted a meme of him like in the jungle, sweaty with a green shirt and all that, and it was 4 different pictures. Said this is from 4 different movies.
And it's the same.
It's the same picture, and I realized, okay, yeah, he isn't all the time. He's in that getup,
Right.
Same shirt. He's all sweaty. He's in a jungle.
Yeah.
Whether it's Jumanji or, I mean, you could just name all.
I think he made $80 million last year in movies.
It's not like he's a great actor. I mean, he's recognizable.
Right.
He's okay in the stuff. I mean, some stuff he's better than.
He can be
others,
pretty
but
funny.
He was funny. Like I liked the remake of Jumanji. I didn't think I would, but
I don't think I saw the second one.
it was okay. I did. So I thought the halftime show was pretty good. You didn't really like it. It didn't seem like.
I've been thinking about it since we watched it because initially I was like, eh,
Yeah.
and I think I'm still pretty close to that.
Yeah.
But I figured out why.
Why?
I don't think it lived up to the hype. They
No.
really hyped it up,
I will say it didn't.
right? I mean, they really hyped that up, and I just think, I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
A halftime show's hard to kind of put something together that's awe-inspiring, and there's been a few artists that have done that.
Oh yeah.
Right? You mentioned U2, Prince. I think Michael Jackson's was pretty good.
Yep.
But I think that's where my disappointment
Yeah.
lies is that it was hyped up so much, and then it was just
Yeah.
kind of like
I didn't from the get-go. I didn't really like the set. I didn't like the whole white thing, and that was weird. Although I did think we found out later that one sign, what was it for, like a cheeseburger shop or what was it?
I forget what it was. It was whatever, like a restaurant or something.
They were clowning on Suge Knight because that's where
because Snoop just took over
Death Row, yeah.
Death Row Records, which was Suge Knight's, because Suge Knight's locked up. So they were definitely.
They were clowning on him because
They
that's
were
where he
definitely, yeah.
killed somebody at this restaurant, ran him over,
And that's why they had that set there.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
So
Pretty
that's
funny.
crazy, yeah.
I will say there was the big controversy of Eminem kneeling.
I don't
You
know
and
why
I
that was a
watched it together.
controversy.
Well, I didn't even notice it because
I noticed him kneeling. He put his hand on his head.
Well, you and I were both talking about is he playing piano? Is he so weird? Like
Oh,
I was
yeah,
fixated on
Dre was playing piano. I was like,
I
I didn't know he could play piano. Yeah.
The whole time I missed the kneeling all completely.
Yeah, I
like,
saw him kneel, but I didn't think it was a thing. Like, I didn't think he was making a political statement or something.
And even if he was, is that so surprising? I mean,
right.
It's Eminem, so.
And then I think the other thing when it comes to the halftime show is I think I'm just, for a live show, I'm a much bigger fan of true musicians.
Yeah.
Right? When you're just when you're putting your musical abilities on display. Like when Dre started playing piano, I was
cool.
impressed. I was like, oh, man.
Even though he probably wasn't playing, but yeah.
Right. But he's playing an instrument, right? But I like hip hop and rap. I grew up on it. I still enjoy it. But I've never really enjoyed a rap or hip hop concert, right? Because it's just a guy on stage singing along to a pre-recorded beat. But when you see a real, I did go to an NF show in Boston.
He's pretty good.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But he's got a live drummer.
Oh.
It's not just loops. He's got a drummer that's actually putting those beats out while you're there.
It does make
and
a
that
difference.
impresses me.
I took my kids, I mentioned last week, I was taking my kids to a concert, and there was a rapper named KB there. He's fairly new, but man, he was awesome. But he did the same thing. He came out with a drummer, I think it was a drummer, a DJ, and he had a guitarist too.
Yeah.
And like the guitarist, man, every once in a while he would break out in a song and the guitarist would be singing, and he had like a ridiculous voice. They were a tight band, but yeah, KB puts on a good show too.
Well, in the halftime show, they had a live band. You just didn't see them much, right?
Yeah.
But when there's true musician, I mean, I don't know that there's a truer musician than Prince, right?
No.
And when he went out and played in the rain,
Oh my gosh.
I mean, just phenomenal. And you know what? I wasn't a Prince fan then, but I appreciated the show.
Yeah.
And I didn't really know how good Prince was until I saw him play the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame tribute for George Harrison.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
As My Guitar Gently Weeps. That video from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame tribute after George Harrison passed away with all the different artists on stage. And at the end, Prince kind of he's off to the side. You don't see him a whole bunch during the whole, and it's a long song that they're playing this, looping it over and over and over again. But dude, he goes into that guitar solo. I'm like, holy crap, that guy could play.
He's funny. I listen to him. I go in phases. Like sometimes I listen to him when I cook. I can't just sit down and listen to a Prince album.
Stuff.
I do think it's
not my
funny.
style music.
He'll go from like and, like he goes way low. It's like baby.
He was a bit of an enigma, right? I mean, he's kind of a
ridiculous.
tiny little guy. Apparently, he was like a straight baller, like could play basketball. And there's stories about how good he was. You know?
That whole Chappelle Show thing. You've
Right.
probably seen that, and he said it's 100% true.
Yeah.
They even ate pancakes afterwards.
Charlie Murphy tells the story, right? Yeah.
Yep. Pretty funny. But yeah, I mean,
so that's where I was with the halftime show, and I don't think there's a commercial that sticks out in my mind from watching Super Bowl.
I wanted to like the Sopranos one because I'm a big Sopranos fan, but that wasn't very good.
I had no frame of reference for that because I hadn't seen it.
Yeah.
I guess the big deal was that the two people that got out of the truck, or one
It's
person
his
got out of the
daughter
truck,
and his son.
and you weren't sure if in the last episode they died in that diner or something like that.
No. The dad, you're not sure if he died.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was the daughter. Basically, it was a scene-for-scene shot of the intro of the show. Only the daughter was driving instead of the dad.
I got
which
you.
the actor has since died, James Gandolfini.
Yeah.
And then when she got out, it was her brother.
I
which
got
is
you.
the guy. Yeah. So
I didn't have a frame of reference for it. It didn't do anything for me. Interesting that it was about pickup truck. I don't know if that was a Sopranos thing. That
No.
they drove pickup trucks. Didn't
Not
strike me
really.
as like a mobster car.
Not really.
Yeah.
No, it had nothing to do with anything. There was the QR code commercial where it was just a minute of You were out of the room.
Yeah, I came back in and Zeke was like hustling to get his phone out and missed it or something.
We were just I don't think anybody noticed it until about 30 seconds in, and we're like, "What the heck is this?"
Yeah.
Which is probably the point of the commercials. I think it was kind of smart.
They want you to scan it, right?
Yeah, it's for Coinbase, I think. So some
crypto. That's where you launder money. We learned that last week.
Yeah. Everyone liked the Larry David commercial. Did you see that?
That was a pretty good one.
I thought it was okay.
I'm never wrong about these things.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that was good.
It was clever. It was clever. And man, I don't know how much they paid him. He's already a billionaire, so to pay him.
Larry David's a billionaire?
Dude, he created Seinfeld.
Yeah, I knew that.
Sold it all kinds of, they've sold it to Netflix.
Still syndicated,
all
right?
syndicated, man. And then Curb Your Enthusiasm, too. It's like,
How good would it be to have mailbox money?
Yeah.
All right, your show airs, and boom, next month you're still getting checks for something you did 20 years ago.
Pretty crazy. I did like the Tommy Lee Jones commercial, too.
Oh, Jones, and Jonas.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Whoever you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one,
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I guess that was pretty good.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't. Did you see? So
there used to be like the Budweiser Clydesdale horses and the Bud Light, like in armor or whatever. I didn't see any of those.
No, they don't do that. They haven't done those in a while. The Budweiser frogs, they could bring them back. It's been long enough.
Yeah, the frogs would be good.
Or-
But I love the Clydesdales.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing that one. But
it's been a while.
I was
since
in
they've been up there.
I was in and out of the room. So
yeah, I don't think they played those.
Why is
You know what they should bring back? There's two that they should bring back. I think it's time.
Yeah, it's time for that to come back.
And then what was the other one I was thinking? Puppy Monkey Baby, Puppy Monkey Baby, Puppy Monkey Baby. You remember that one? It was a real commercial.
Yeah.
I think it had a puppy and a body of a monkey, head of a puppy, body of a
monkey.
monkey.
What was it for? Do you remember what they were advertising?
I think it was Mountain Dew.
Oh.
I think it's something like that.
Yeah. We need some stupid funny.
We need stupid funny. Although, yeah, that had everyone shaking their heads like, what the heck? Matt Stafford. So they had the parade. It was like yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
And there's this clip, I don't know if you've seen it, where they were on a stage, and the photographer, it's a female, and she's taking pictures of him, and she is taking a picture, and she steps off this tall, it looked like a tall stage. It looks like as tall as this wall. It's super tall. And she just falls off, and he just looks at her and turns around and starts walking the other way. Now, he was a little hammered.
She fell like in front of him?
Yeah.
Like landed in front of him?
She was taking his picture and falls off. He looks, turns around, and just walks the other way.
Oh.
So since then, there was a big backlash because
yeah.
it was caught on camera. And it was pretty crazy to watch.
Is she okay?
She is not okay. She did something to her spine. So him and his wife they're paying all of her bills.
Yeah.
But they're trying to save a little face. But my goodness.
But he was probably drunk, right?
Oh, yeah. He was definitely drunk.
Yeah.
In fact, he's drinking on the parade, and Tom Brady said, throw a little water in the mix. Trust me on this.
Yeah, because he was throwing the Lombardi trophy from one boat to another last year.
I know.
And I think his response to the criticism after he sobered up last year was, yeah, that probably wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, he acknowledged it, which I think is funny.
Yeah.
Tom Brady does make me laugh sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
He seems so straight-laced, but
right.
He does make me laugh sometimes. So that was pretty crazy that she fell off the stage. You should look up that clip. It's a little... at first you want to laugh, but then when you find out she got hurt...
Yeah, that's too bad. She's banged up from it.
Yeah. I'm just knocking things off my list that we talked about. Did you have anything you'd want to talk about? I was bummed this week.
Why?
Because on Tuesday you texted me and said, Chinese buffet? And it's the one time this month that I had
it
a
was your
lunch
time
meeting.
of the month.
It was my time of the month for having lunch meetings.
Let's just leave it at your time of the month. People don't need to know the rest of the details.
It sucked, and I wanted that Chinese buffet so
and
bad.
do you know the first thing I thought of when you told me you couldn't go?
What's that?
All the times that you've texted me to go do something.
True.
And I said no. And my first thought was, oh,
it hurts,
now I
doesn't it?
know how Josh feels. And then I thought, I'm going to hold this over his head.
Yeah.
The next time I have to say no. And let's not call it have to. The next time I decide to say no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to hold it over your head.
Well, we did make up for it because we had it
2
the
days
very
later,
next day.
or the
And
next day, yeah.
I was dog sick. I was laying in bed, and you texted, said Chinese buffet. I said, sick or not, I'm going to the Chinese buffet.
Because it was a new one. We hadn't been to this one yet.
And you know what I did? I met you.
Yeah.
I ate. I went home, and I got right back into bed the rest of the day.
Right.
Canceled
full belly.
We had a practice. We were supposed to podcast. I said, I'm going back to bed.
You weren't feeling good.
But I made it for the Chinese buffet.
And it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. It didn't. It was a smaller one, so it didn't. They didn't bring out the portions.
They're not. Yeah, they're not
weren't
fast
quick.
on the refill.
Yeah,
but I think the quality was there.
quality was good.
Yeah.
Still not as good as So's to me.
So's is your
Place
go-to.
Place in town here.
Yeah.
They got the peanut butter chicken.
We got to go to the one in Hastings.
Yeah.
That'll be our next stop.
Okay.
Because then we'll decide what's the best.
I'm down.
Is there? Oh, there's one in Kearney I've been to. I don't want to take you there. It's not good.
Oh yeah, you told me.
But
that.
we'll determine the best in the Tri-Cities, and we already know Kearney's out because that one's garbage.
Yeah. But that broke my heart that I couldn't go Tuesday.
Yeah.
But I heard it crazy. Do you have something you wanted to mention?
Well, you just said you were sleeping, you came to eat, and then you went back to sleep. So
Yeah.
maybe that's the answer to this question. But what's your go-to when it's like you finally have a few minutes? Because I'm just kind of running all week long.
Yeah.
Right? Work, and then whatever we got in our personal life. Son's playing ball,
Yeah.
Stuff with the daughter, wife's schedule. Like, we're just all over all the time.
Yeah.
But when it's time to chill, when you recognize, oh, man, I got a couple hours I can just relax. What's your go-to? Is it like there's gamers, there's movies, TV shows, music, people like put headphones in and just relax, hit the recliner. What's your go-to when it's time, when you find those few minutes to chill out?
I'll usually get lost in YouTube.
Ooh, the rabbit hole.
Or I'll listen to a podcast usually.
Okay.
Sometimes, like at night now, the past probably month, I will normally go to bed about an hour earlier than I want to.
Yeah.
And I'll sit and listen to music, which is good and bad. Sometimes it gets my brain going. I have to listen to soft music, though, I've decided. There's a new artist named Yeba that I've been listening to a lot. She's kind of a jazzy, like, I don't know. She's opening up for John Mayer on his new tour.
But that's good music to fall asleep
good
to?
music, kind of, yeah.
Okay.
It's not going to get you going.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been
Got to
listening
go
to
with
that a
some
lot.
Enya.
Yeah,
A
I
little
like
bit of
Anya.
Enya spa music to doze off.
Dijonnaise. We did a funny Anya skit. Do you remember at our old church in Maryland?
I did.
You and I did.
I don't remember.
So it was a skit. It was a good one. I almost
The
shouldn't
one
give
where
it
we
away.
fought at the end?
Yeah. So I got
I
up.
remember the fighting part because people thought that was for real.
Well, that's the whole. Yeah, we sold it.
Yeah.
I get up and I'm telling blonde jokes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm just gonna tell blonde jokes, and I'm like, these are dedicated to my sister. And it's funny at first, but then I get like the blonde jokes are like really, like they're pointed. They're like
They get mean.
They get very mean.
Yeah.
They're not lighthearted.
Right.
And so a couple times you're like, all right, that's enough, man, it's enough. And then I'll tell one more. And you're like, for real, man. I think no one's laughing anymore. We're
Right.
done. And it gets to the point where you get up in my face, and people, it was like tense in the room.
Yeah.
And we get in each other's face like we're getting ready to fight. And then who can say what? Oh no! How does it starts with the
Enya song.
right?
Right.
It just starts playing in
And
the.
then we start dancing.
We
or
start
something, didn't
dancing
we?
together, and then we dance across the room. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's a funny skit.
And I remember after that, people coming up like, I thought you guys were going to throw down, and I wasn't sure what to do. I didn't know if I
sold
wanted
it.
to get in the middle of that
Yep.
and get hurt myself or let you guys fight it out because I thought his jokes were getting to be a little bit inappropriate.
We sold it.
Yeah.
It
I
was-
remember that now.
It
Yeah.
was a fun one. I would do that one again. That was a good.
Yeah, that was good.
Yep.
So music. And I wake up, I've been waking up before my alarm.
Oh, that sucks.
And if it's a few minutes before your alarm goes off, I'm always disappointed because I'm like, oh, I could have had 7 more minutes.
Oh yeah.
Right. But I've been waking up an hour before my alarm. Every day this week, I woke up an hour before my alarm. And like a dummy, I do 2 things. Number one, I got to pee. And I try to convince myself that I don't have to pee so that I can go back to sleep.
Yeah.
And so I do that for about 10 minutes. Then I'm like, don't be
Just
an
get
idiot.
up
Just
and
get
pee.
up and pee.
Yep.
And then I get back in bed, and I got 50 minutes before my alarm's going to go off. And I always set my alarm kind of earlier than I really need to get up, just so
Yeah.
I have to. I don't want to rush. Like this morning, I was glad to be up because I was able to sit down at the table
Yeah.
with my son. My wife was in the kitchen too, and I had a cup of coffee, and I was able to kind of relax a little bit before I walked out the door instead of just hustling. And anytime I'm rushing, I'm forgetting something anyway. So
Yeah.
that always bothers me. But I found myself not being able to fall back asleep. So I wake up an hour before. I do the whole I don't really have to pee thing, and then I go pee. And then I just lay there and like worry. I worry about my day. I worry about my schedule.
Overthinking.
Not that I have to worry about any of that. It's all going to be fine. But yeah, I'm like anxious. I just need to get up.
I'm listening to you. I'm just trying to sign into something so I can show a clip, and they're sending me a code. But yeah, I do the same thing, and I always do the thing where I fight off for a half hour not getting up to pee because I feel like that's going to wake me up. But also sitting here not thinking about trying not to pee is waking me up too. So
because then I start to worry if I do fall asleep and I have to pee this bad, am I going to wet the bed?
Yeah.
Which would be devastating for me, I think, if I peed in my own bed at this point at 40-some years old. Because I'm not quite there yet.
Have you ever been close?
I have had the dream that I was urinating, and then I wake up and I'm like, I wasn't sure if I actually peed in the bed. And I hadn't peed in the bed, but it felt like that was about to happen. So, yeah, I guess that's close.
Yeah. I've had dreams where I'm peeing in my dream, and then I wake up, I'm like, oh, I better go.
You're a dream in a dream?
Well, I'm dream. Oh, wait. Oh, no, I'm dreaming.
You dream like Inception.
Yeah, Inception. No, I dream that I'm at a urinal, and I'm just peeing, and it won't stop.
Oh.
It just won't stop.
Yeah.
And then I realize, that's because I really have to go in real life.
I got to wake up.
And I better wake up and go. That's why it won't stop, is because it wants to really go.
But have you ever dreamt that you were sleeping?
I think I have. Pretty
It's
sure
a
I
weird
have.
sensation, right?
Yeah.
Do you get extra rest if you dream within a dream or dream about sleep?
I hardly ever remember my dreams anymore.
Yeah.
I did past couple nights. I've remembered them. I think it's because when I'm sick, I dream.
You got to do a dream
differently,
journal.
too. Oh yeah.
Got to write it down as soon as you wake up.
Yeah.
And then share those crazy thoughts.
They are crazy. Yeah. Dreams are real weird.
Have you ever had someone tell you about their dream like it's this like vivid, crazy, life-changing experience, but while they're telling it, you're like, I don't care, man.
Yeah.
This is like a made-up thing that happened in your head while you were unconscious.
Yeah.
Like none of that. But I've had people like, it was so for real, and they go into all the detail. And I'm like, and it's crazy stuff.
You're
right?
probably
like,
talking about me telling you a dream.
I don't think
I'm
so.
sure I've done it.
Like the giraffe was flying
Yeah.
through the front door, and I'm like,
Because they lived it, and so to them, it's
it's
yeah.
like, yeah, it's this astounding experience. But I'm like, this is something that you made up in your head while you were unconscious.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that life-changing to me.
No.
But I don't say that out loud. I humor the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we humor people too much, I think.
Yeah, just tell them that's a stupid thing that happened to you while you were asleep and stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Or
I
not.
guess there's this guy who just died, Ivan Reitman. He
Yeah.
directed Ghostbusters and a bunch of things. But I guess he was famous for that. Like, he just didn't suffer fools at all. So if you were talking too long or annoying him, he would just say, all right, shut up. And he would just go on to the next thing. I'm like, man, if only. I mean, I guess that's kind of how Larry David is on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like, just, all right, shut up. Just move on.
Right.
I don't want to hear you. I'm not gonna appease you. So I wish we all could go through life. That's how I am. I was telling Susan today because she was talking to someone.
You told her shut up?
No.
Oh.
Only
How'd that
once. She's talking about how some people need to be direct, or like they react better
direct,
if you're more direct than if you're like putting smiley faces
Oh,
in your
yeah.
message.
Yeah.
I said, I'm that way. Like, just tell me.
Right.
Like, even Christmas, we don't need to wait. Just if you want to get me something, just get it and tell me what you get me. I don't need the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
I think I prefer direct.
yeah.
I don't want to do mind games and story time. And
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there's a place for that, right? Some people need that, so you can learn that about them. But for me, just give me the bullet points and let's move on to the next thing.
Yeah. Just give me the straight dope.
Yeah. Ooh, the dope.
There was this clip that's been going around. So, we've talked about Joe Rogan and the whole controversy. Well, what just happened to it? It just went away.
You mentioned his name.
That's right. That is
Apple
weird.
took over, knocked it off your computer screen.
But there's been this, so what he did is he came out and said, look, to appease people, I'm going to, if I have an expert on in this field, I'll have an expert on each side of the debate. So I'll try to be more balanced.
It's the Fairness Act.
It's the Fairness Act. So he's doing that.
That didn't work either.
Well, he did his first one this week where he had one guy that was for climate change, and then one guy, I don't know if he's against climate change, but two different scientists.
Yeah.
So this clip is a little long, but I think it's interesting. And if I don't know if he cusses at all. If he does, I'll bleep it out. So
Are these both guys having a conversation?
So no. So that's the thing is Joe Rogan wants that to happen because this guy's making a bunch of claims.
Yeah.
And so, but this guy, you'll hear it in a minute here. But yeah, it's Joe Rogan talking to the scientist. He's already had this other scientist on, so this is the second conversation.
This is another form of Inception. This is a podcast.
Talking about a
podcast.
podcast. So it's about a 3-minute clip, but I think it's pretty interesting. So
do it.
Give it a listen.
Anyone about this? So I have. So
hold on, let me start it.
Have
over.
you debated anyone about this? So I have okay. So I have not debated anybody about this. Actually, I take it back. I debated this person, Richard Lindzen, in 2010. My feeling is that I won't debate the science. So the science is set. Earth. We're temperature's warming. Humans are the cause. I'm happy to debate policy because I think policy needs to be debated. So if someone wants to debate energy policy with me,
why wouldn't you debate the science?
Because the science has already been debated in the scientific system.
I understand that, but to the average person that gets confused and doesn't know whether or not you're correct or Steve Koonin is correct,
yeah. So I think
a debate would be very beneficial.
I disagree with that entirely because
how so?
Because in a one-on-one debate without the ability to fact check people, so let's
why
say,
couldn't you fact check them in real life?
In real time.
Yeah,
because
real
how
time.
do I do that? He says this paper says this, and I'm saying, do you want me to read the paper?
Yeah.
Well, it would be a debate that would take a week.
So we do a week. I don't even think it would take a week, but there's certain points that you could get where you would go over them, and we could kind of establish those points in advance. Like where's the contention? Like where's the disagreement? And why does he feel this way, and why do you feel this way? And I feel like if we established like a set of parameters or a set of areas of contention.
Well, we can certainly talk about that. I think we need to work that out. But let me just sort of finish what I was saying. That the scientific system of peer-reviewed papers followed by replication. Important results are always replicated by other people. That's how science determines what is right. And I feel strongly that. In the one debate I did do, I thought it was terrible and was a waste of my time, and I said I would never do that again. But policy is different. Policies are value judgments, and I think you do have to have public debates about that. So I think we do need to get out there and advocate for what we think we should do.
What he said is that he got into this because he brought a bunch of people together to discuss what the science is, and he said the science is not nearly as settled as he thought it was when he first started examining it, and that's why he wrote this book, and that's why he took a deep dive into the data.
That may well be true. I can't comment on why he did what he did.
Well, that is why he did what he did. That's what he said. But the point is, like, when someone hears him or when someone hears you, there's people that would hear you and go, well, this guy's not right because Steve Koonin's right. And I heard Steve Koonin say this. And then there's people that hear you and go, well, he's right and Steve Koonin is wrong because Steve Koonin left out all these different things and he was incorrect about that and he was way too lenient on the government when it comes to this could be settled. At least it can be explained in a way that a rational person could have a more informed opinion of what's going on.
Yeah, I think you overestimate the ability to settle these issues in a debate.
Thoughts?
So that's retarded, right? It's kind of like I remember having professors where you would challenge an idea with a question, and the response. I had some professors that would totally engage in that conversation and say, yeah, let's get into that. Yeah. That's a great question. Let's talk through that.
Yep.
And they'd share their thoughts and I'd share my – and look, they're far more educated. They're the professor. I'm the student, right? But they're engaging that dialogue. We're having that conversation. They're helping me understand, their point of view.
Yeah.
But they're accepting some of the challenges that I offer, right? One of the most brilliant professors I ever had would do that. I mean, this guy was an absolute genius, but I would say, hey, wait, I'm not sure about that. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I can't connect those two dots like you just said it like it was fact. Yeah, I don't know if that came through.
It didn't come through because I haven't plugged in.
But Mrs. Foz, I didn't challenge her necessarily. But, I would ask the questions as they came, as the information was presented to me. I go, wait a second, that doesn't line up. And then I also I had a far fewer professors whose response would be, oh, well, that's beyond the scope of this class. Right. And all that said to me was, you're not willing to have the discussion or you don't really have the information to back up that thing you said that now I'm questioning.
Yep.
And that's what I was, when that guy was talking to Joe Rogan, I'm thinking he is not that confident in whatever message he is trying to communicate. He just wants it to be readily accepted. and not be challenged. It's beyond the scope. And I think that's stupid.
Well, and anytime
if you can't have a conversation, then don't present something as fact if you're not willing to have a conversation about it.
One of my biggest pet peeves is when anyone says the science is settled on anything.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's not science. Science is constantly moving.
It's always investigating.
Yeah, and you should always be looking into it and always be determining, because it's never, to me, it's almost never settled.
They thought Columbus was going to sail off the edge of the earth and plummet to his death because the science was settled. The earth was flat, right?
I mean, even when you look at the COVID crap, the science had been settled on so many things that have then 6 months later, that's not
14-day quarantine, 10-day quarantine, 5-day quarantine.
And that's okay. We didn't know. Like, it's okay we were spraying down our groceries. We didn't know. Everyone was freaked out. We were going with what we had. But the science, like, you would hear, even in those times, I remember the science is settled, or, we know that it does this. We know. I mean, there's that famous clip of, I think it's Rachel Maddow, where it was right when the vaccine was coming out. She's like, we know that if you get the vaccine, you cannot spread it. We know that if you get the vaccine, you won't get sick. We know. It's all these we know statements. It's like, okay, we didn't know any of that.
Right.
But if you'd asked anybody at that time, well, the science is settled. You're an idiot if blah, 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 blah.
And it's crazy that something like COVID-19, right, that is so new. Yeah. That's why they call it a novel virus, because it means it's new. That
also wrote a book.
That anything, that's right. The Great American Novel by Corona. That anything
good
could...
song by Corona. By Corona. Everything reminds me of something.
I'm trying to make a point here, Josh. Nothing can be settled. It's too new. It can't be settled.
Yeah.
Right? It can be the most recent findings.
Yeah.
But it can't be settled.
Yep.
And so, look, whatever you believe about climate change, all this guy was telling me is that he's not really confident in whatever side of the argument he's on.
Yeah.
Right. The science is settled. I don't want to have that conversation. What point is that in having a conversation? Like, come on.
Yeah. I think you overestimate how much can be. That's come on, dude.
But
you're not willing to have the talk.
In the few things that I've listened to, since you kind of introduced me to some of these controversies surrounding Joe Rogan, because I didn't know about it. I didn't listen to him at all. I've listened to a few of those things, especially the ones that were supposed to be, purportedly controversial.
Yeah.
I didn't find them to be controversial. I found them to be conversations, and certainly you could agree with the guy presenting information or disagree. Yep. But the one thing I do like about Joe Rogan is the thing we just talked about before you played that. Yeah. He's a straight shooter.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, even with this guy, it's like
he's like, it'll take a week to do that. Okay, take a week.
Yeah.
Right. It seems to be important. There seems to be disparity in people's views.
Yeah.
And they both seem to think that the other person is 100% wrong.
Yeah.
So have the conversation.
Yeah.
And if it takes a week, it takes a week. So what?
Yeah.
I love that. I do like that about Joe Rogan, that he just shoots straight.
And I'm not like I probably listen to 1% of his shows. I only listen to comedians on his show that I'm interested in.
Right.
So I don't listen to a lot of his, but every once in a while, if someone that's the reason I listened to, I think it was Dr. Malone. Yeah. I listened to that one because it was so controversial, and I was like, and it was when I had COVID.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I have time. I'm sitting here. I can spend 3.5 hours listening and see. I'm going to see why this is so controversial. And when I walked away, I was like, oh, it wasn't that controversial.
It wasn't. You could not agree with him.
But it wasn't.
But it didn't seem like it was like earth-shattering controversy.
And he's not some crazy loon that's up which he does have on. He has crazy people on for sure.
But he did not come off as he didn't come off as crazy guy. He's like, okay, so I have the patent for the vaccine delivery system, and I want to tell you about it.
Yeah.
Here's my thoughts on it.
And that's why
you don't have to agree with them, but
when I see people online posting, "Oh, this guy's a quack," blah blah blah, first thing I would say is, "Did you listen?"
Right.
None of them, because you can't listen to it, and just give it a chance. And you won't agree with everything. You'll think some of the you'll get angry at maybe some of the points, but he's not coming off as insincere or that he's trying to get people away from the vaccine. He was vaccinated. I don't know. We don't have to get into the politics.
I just think dialogue is gone for some reason now. It's just whoever shouts the loudest.
Yep.
And then if you can be called crazy, if you can be called conspiracy theorist, or if you can be called a racist, then you can just be shouted out of the room.
Well, that's the whole Trudeau thing right now with the truckers is like he's not willing to sit down and talk with them. He's calling them racist. He's calling them all. They're freezing their bank accounts. They've issued an emergency, whatever. Like, talk to them. Yeah. Figure out what the problem is. Other cities are. I guess they're not cities, whatever they call them
provinces. Yeah.
They're talking, and some of them are agreeing with them, and some of them are changing their mandates and whatever. But you can't just throw out the race card. By the way, if I think I said this last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, if there's any pictures of me floating around in blackface out there, I would never call another person a racist in my life because I know it would just shine back on me.
Has that come back up since he's been calling people racist?
Yeah, I mean, people post that picture all the time. He'll put out this Twitter statement, and if you scroll down
the
through the
response
comments,
is just his picture in blackface.
Yeah, but just have the conversation. It's dialogue is lost in this time.
I don't know the politics of the person that wrapped my taco tonight.
Yeah,
and I'll be honest with you.
Don't care.
I don't care.
All I know is they screwed it up.
I know they messed it up.
So
but the taco I got was good.
They're probably all right because they screwed it up.
Because they messed it
They're
all
racist.
up.
They saw me white, and although he was white as well.
Oh, they were like, you don't know what a real taco tastes like. Doesn't matter what I put in here.
Yeah, that's right. It's cultural appropriation.
Is going to Taco Bell cultural appropriation?
Oh, yeah. I guess we can't go there anymore.
Huh.
Dang it.
I had a fried burrito last week.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Dude.
Where
it
from?
Was awesome. I forget the name of the place. It's right kind of the same parking lot as where the skating rink that crumbled to pieces last year. You know that parking lot there? You know where the Eileen's Cookies?
Yeah.
It's like a couple storefronts down from there right on the corner.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the place, but they have this. It's a deep fried burrito.
Sounds good.
Oh. And it had no vegetables in it.
Yeah.
Had a cheese sauce that covered it. It was steak inside.
Man.
And then little slices of avocado on top.
Did someone tell you about this
I guess
place?
avocado is a vegetable, right? Slices of avocado on top.
Did someone tell you about this place?
Yeah, my son's girlfriend's parents
Really?
asked if we're going to go eat there. And I go to a Mexican restaurant, and sometimes I'm a little worried I'm not going to find something that I like because I don't like the hot stuff. I don't want like peppers and onions in my stuff, and that's generally what that cuisine is. But
it's good when you have a local too that knows been there.
Yeah,
so that's a good place to try then.
Oh, it's good.
Okay, I'm gonna go
really
back.
Good.
We should go there sometime.
Delicioso.
Fried burrito.
Yeah,
I'm down with that.
It was giant. It was like a 12-inch tortilla fried burrito, big, quite filling.
See, now that I can taste, I'm wanting to go there.
We'll do it.
Hey, we were talking about our Bible college.
As soon as the money
days.
comes in.
That's right. As soon as the money comes in. Oh, boy. Bible college days.
Yeah.
So we're both Bible scholars.
I was supposed to be.
Yeah. We both glance at the camera. We're not, we both graduated. Well, actually, one of us graduated. One of us still has a math course that I never completed. But we took all the Bible courses. That. Yeah, I don't have my diploma. I'm retarded.
You get a diploma when you graduate college.
Yeah. What do you get? What do you get when you
Degree.
graduate high school? Degree. That's what I was thinking. Degree. Diploma's high school.
You get a high school diploma, but they give you a diploma for your undergrad.
But you don't call it a diploma.
It's a degree.
It's a degree. Yeah, that's why I was saying stupid. Yeah.
Your BS degree.
And I've read this verse. We're going to get into some Bible talk.
Oh, we're having a little Bible time. Bible time with Joshy.
I have read this verse probably 100 times, and I've never really thought about it. And then someone pointed it out to me this week, and I was like, holy crap.
Should I get my Bible app out?
Sure. It's in Matthew 27. And this, even if you're not a believer and you're listening to this, it's okay. Because it's a pretty crazy couple of verses here. And I'm not sure what to do with it. Matthew 27, verse 51. Should I read it for you?
Yeah.
And this is right as Jesus is dying on the cross. It says, "Then behold, the veil of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the earth quaked, and the rocks were split." Okay, we've heard that. "Then the graves were opened," verse 52, "the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep were raised. And coming out of the graves after his resurrection, they went into the holy city and appeared to many." So I'm picturing a bunch of zombies coming out of the graves and hanging out in the cities. And I've never thought about those verses. Like, I've just always read them and just passed through, like, oh, yeah, and the veil was split and earthquake. And there's people climbing out of the graves.
Right.
And hanging out in the cities. What do you make of that?
Well,
do you know? I'm putting you on the spot here.
So I trust that it's a true narrative.
Yeah.
That happened.
Uh-huh.
And I think that It's going to happen again, second coming of Christ.
Mhm.
We know that that's going to happen again. And so I think it was kind of a prelude to what will one day happen in the future.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not denying that it, I'm a
I don't think they look like
literalist.
zombies.
No, and that's what I told that to Susan. She goes, they weren't zombies. They looked
Right?
like
when,
they're...
when Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead,
Yeah.
the response from Mary is, I love in the King James, it says, surely he stinketh.
Yeah.
Right, because he's in the grave for 4 days. So
Yeah.
he would have been starting to rot, right?
Yeah.
And he comes out, and he doesn't surely stinketh at that point, right? He's
Yeah.
kind of still wrapped up, but
Yeah.
he's fully alive. He's alived. That's
Yeah.
a good Bible word. I'm a scholar.
Have you ever thought about these verses, though, before? Like, really?
I don't think I've, thought through that particular verse. Like, what would it have been like? It
Yeah.
would have been freaky. Yeah?
Honestly.
I mean, you know me and ghosts, right?
Yeah.
I definitely would have, I would have messed my pants seeing the dead guy come out of the grave.
I don't know why this scene didn't make it into the Passion of the Christ,
Oh.
That's what I'm saying. There needs to be... Why is this not in our Easter stories and our Easter narrative? Why do we not talk about this? It's the craziest... Well, I mean, not the craziest part of the story.
It's pretty crazy, though.
Pretty crazy. And it's just... We don't talk about it that much.
Yeah.
Or at all.
We should.
We should. It should be a part of they do the Passion plays.
Easter's right around the corner. Maybe
Yeah.
you and I can do a skit.
Yeah.
We'll be the dead
We'll
guys.
be the undead. Undead. It was funny when your son was like 4 years old. When I think it was when I first had Daisy, and your wife, my sister, and Eden and Zeke were visiting us, and when we lived in Nashville. And I remember it was just after Easter, because Daisy was born on Easter Sunday. And your son, I think he drew a picture of Jesus, and he goes, "Yeah, this is Jesus. He's the zombie one." Because it was after he was raised from the dead.
Right.
He's the zombie Jesus.
Yeah.
I'll never forget
From the
that.
mind
That's
of a
quote.
child. Zombie Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did have this question from, this has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, we're moving on.
Did you have anything you wanted to talk about?
I've asked my questions.
Okay. So we had talked about the skiing and hitting trees, and our brother-in-law, our highly esteemed brother-in-law, Chad.
He's a skier, frequent skier.
Said that he has someone on his mountain that skis at 90.
So I worked with a guy, and maybe it's the same guy. I don't know.
Oh.
There was a guy that worked for the home building company that I worked for. We built custom homes. He was a superintendent of construction.
Yeah.
He was like 80-some years old at that time, and he skied every weekend.
Wild.
And then he would take, kind of right before the snow melt, he would take a week off to get all the skiing in that he could.
Yeah.
And, I mean, you wouldn't look at him and go, safe to go up and down that mountain, buddy.
Yeah.
He looked like he was
Frail.
80-some years old. But he did it. And a 90-year-old guy skiing down the mountain, I can see it. I just don't know. You might want to get into something a little bit safer at that age.
Here's my question.
Unless you're good with going that way.
If you're 90,
Yeah.
you've lived a long, full life,
Yeah.
do you wear a helmet for safety?
Or you just if it happens, it happens.
Yep. Do you even wear a seatbelt at that point?
Here's the thing. If you go down, you're wearing a helmet at 90, you're breaking a hip.
Yeah, you're
Right?
done anyway.
And the hip break is kind of the catalyst to all the other problems.
I think if I'm 90, I'm not wearing a helmet. I'm not wearing a seatbelt. If I play lacrosse, I'm not wearing a cup. I'm not doing
a 90-year-old guy on the lacrosse field.
Yeah, I don't.
You're just ready to go.
I'm just
however
ready to
it
go.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. Up and down. I know how bad my body hurts after I ski, even when I was in decent shape.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hurt worse now, right? Because I'm not in the shape I was when we were skiing a lot.
Yeah.
But my body would hurt.
I'm 39, and I haven't been skiing in probably 10 years. And I was telling Susan, I'd like to start taking some of our kids because they've showed interest.
Yeah.
And, being a broke dad, sometimes it can be hard. It's expensive, and I feel like it's gotten more expensive, but it's very expensive. So I've talked about taking, one or two kids, and because they haven't done it at all. But then I thought, can I still do it even? Are my knees good enough? And I'm like, you're not even 40 yet, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure you could do it. You would be sore the next day.
For
right?
sure. Yep.
But if you did it enough, you kind of get your legs back under you. But I remember being in good shape and my quads burning by the end of the day and being sore the next day.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine being 90. But he probably skis at a slower pace and takes his time. And maybe he's not doing the black diamonds and all that stuff.
I don't know. I can't imagine. Well, I mean, I think my dad kind of gave it up, right? I mean, they haven't been.
But he's had like knee replacement surgery and
Yeah.
stuff since then, so he was probably in pain just because.
Yeah, it's true.
He had like no cartilage in his knees.
I just can't imagine it.
Now he's bionic. He's got knees
yeah.
and hips and
the
whole deal.
Yep.
He'd probably beat us all down the hill.
Probably. Yeah. Bob Saget, we talked about him a while back. Bob Saget died.
Yeah, I guess
Have you
there
heard
was
about
some
the
more
news?
news about like the autopsy.
Yeah.
We all thought it was going to be maybe COVID related or
heart
vaccine related or something.
Well, they all said it was probably a heart attack.
Because his hand was on his chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he whacked his head.
Not
and went
only,
to sleep.
well, he whacked his head. That was the autopsy's like, yeah, he had a brain bruise or something.
Yeah.
He didn't just whack his head. He it's cracked up. It's busted up so bad that his orbital sockets are
Also
broke. Which doctors have said that's a 20 to 30 foot fall from a roof or hitting the back of the head with a baseball bat. That's not, hey, I fell and hit my head on the
Oh, it's
on
not
the
like
toilet
fall
or,
in the shower
no.
type of fall?
That's and so it's a little fishy, but I mean, they checked like he was the only person that went in and out of his room. So now they're saying he must have hit his head on the headboard as he was getting into bed or whatever, and had enough wherewithal to get tucked in. I don't know, but they're saying like that's not just to whack your head and it's to mess up your orbital sockets and like it's that's a 20 to 30 foot fall or that's hitting the head with a baseball bat.
So this is nowhere close to that, but I've hit my head, and you're saying like how to get in bed and get covered up and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I slipped on the ice. This is when we were in Maryland. I was carrying 2 buckets of tools. It's like 4:30 in the morning or something. I slipped on the ice and went like just butt over tea kettle, right? And I smacked my head. And I don't remember like slipping, or I remember waking up cold. So I'd been laying on the ice for a little bit, I guess. The cold woke me up.
Oh.
And I looked around and I'm like, oh, why are all my tools? And I packed them up. And Honey said that she would make my lunch and kind of see me out the door and go back to bed. It was 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And she said she didn't hear my car start right away. She was kind of listening for it. And she came out and she saw me. She described me kind of looking out, kind of like blank stare over the roof of my car when she looked out the window. I don't know how long I was standing there. And then she said I just got in the car and drove away. And I drove 70 miles. I had a 70-mile commute to my office. And I got to the office and don't really remember all that. And then kind of partway through the morning, my boss was like, hey, are you all right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a little, I don't feel great, but I'm all right.
Yeah.
And he was concerned enough about me to take me to a doctor. But a couple days later, somebody said, hey, man, I saw you driving across the Bay Bridge a couple days ago, and you looked right at me, and I was waving at you, and you just stared at me. And then you were driving, and you looked back over and stared at me, and then you were driving, and you stared at me, and you were driving. And I was like, well, what day was it? It was the day I fell and hit my head. So I had a pretty serious concussion was what the doctor diagnosed. But I was able to get in my car and safely navigate.
Yeah.
I don't remember the drive at all. Safely navigate 70 miles to my office. So you can go into autopilot at that point in some way. And so I guess if that's what happened to him, right, he's kind of in autopilot and trying to shake off the cobwebs and get his head right. But man, what a crazy way to go.
It'd be like if you slipped on the ice on your roof and then fell off of that. And
30-foot fall, right? That's crazy.
For it to impact the front of your skull and and there was 2 different spots where the brain was bleeding and all this stuff, and I don't know. It's pretty. And then the family, I guess, said, we don't want to investigate it. We want to shut it down. We want to lock off. We don't want people seeing pictures, which I get all that.
Oh, sure.
But now,
but they had video of like his haul, and they could see like he was the only one in and out.
I don't know if they had that, but they were able to see on the key card that it was only entered in once. And I'm assuming they checked video at the hotel,
right?
But I don't know if his haul or anything.
But that's crazy, man.
We still freaking haven't figured out what happened with the L.A. shooter or the Las Vegas shooter. Like we have we don't know anything about this dude, why he did it. We have all this footage, and there's still nothing released about that.
Yeah,
Not to jump talk. I mean, they know. They just
don't want a copycat or something, right?
I guess. Is that what it is?
Probably. Like you don't talk about it; it just kind of goes away.
Yeah. A lot of weird crap out there. A lot of weird conspiracies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it does make you curious. Like that guy, why'd you do it?
Yeah.
You know, what's the why behind such a
Well, it doesn't seem to make
crazy,
sense.
terrible massacre?
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, happy note to go out on.
That's the end of the show right there.
You got anything else you wanted to add?
Saget's dead, fell 30 feet, they don't know how, and the Vegas shooter.
Well, I do. Okay, I'll
nice
leave
way
on this
to
story.
wrap us up. Thanks, Josh.
Joy Behar, we love The View. She mentioned that, you know, this whole mask thing, mask mandates are being lifted, all this. She says she's going to wear a mask in public indefinitely.
Because she's smart.
Well, here's the hilarious thing. Is
Was she the one yelling about listen to the science?
She's one of them, yeah, for sure.
So does science say masks can come off, and she says, I don't agree with science anymore?
But here's the funny thing. She said that on The View in the middle of a room full of people while she wasn't wearing a mask. Also, that night she went to dinner and someone was in the booth behind her, took pictures. She didn't wear a mask the whole dinner. And then she left the restaurant. Her two people she was with put masks on. She did not. So it's like even that night she didn't do it.
Virtue
She's just virtue signaling. But like, I just thought it was funny.
People are dumb.
Yeah.
Right?
You're going to get found out.
Even famous people.
Everyone has cameras.
Oh, yeah. They're everywhere, right?
I always say, if you're agreeing with everything the celebrities are saying, we all know how well-grounded and how smart and intellectual celebrities are. Like, if you're agreeing with everything that they're saying, how smart are you? Really?
Not very.
They're all sociopaths. Like, they're crazy people. People that get in and become actors, and there's a reason that they can disappear into a character.
Right.
There's not a whole lot going on upstairs. I don't know if you've ever seen like an interview with.
You just said all actors are dumb.
They are. Like, I love Brad Pitt. You ever watch an interview with him? There's a reason he doesn't do a lot of interviews. There's a reason he won't host SNL. Like, he's not smart. And then what's his name? Robert De Niro. Have you ever seen him like host SNL or do an interview? He's done that. He comes off as the dumbest person I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Like, he is not. There's a reason he gets.
He's
lost.
one that
That's
gets
why
fired up and rants about stuff too.
That's why he's such a great actor. There's not a whole lot going on upstairs. He can get lost in these characters.
Huh.
I don't know. It's a theory.
I like your theory.
But if you're agreeing with everything that
so you're saying I'd make a great actor?
Yes. You're our next Robert Redford. I love me some Robert Redford.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
There are smart actors, right?
I think like my good friend
Gene
Hackman. Like, he's smart.
He's pretty smart.
One of the best actors ever. I help with our youth group here at our church, and we were doing 2 truths and a lie, and one of my truths was I met Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, give me a blank stare. I'm like, you guys know who Gene Hackman is. Not one person.
No.
Hoosiers. I even named some movies I thought they would know.
All movies made before they were born.
So sad that they don't know who Gene Hackman is. Yeah, I guess it would have been because I think in 2004 or so, he retired.
He was in Superman.
He was Lex Luthor.
What's the one with Will Smith? He's good in that one.
Yep. What is that? I can picture the front of it.
He's got the Faraday cage in the warehouse. Yeah, that's good. He's good in that one. He's good in everything he made, right?
He doesn't have a bad movie.
Gene. And you guys are buddies.
My buddy Gene. Met him at the Nashville Library. No joke. And we've never looked back since.
Was he there like special appearance, or was he just hanging out at the library and you ran into him?
I had heard a rumor he was there signing books.
Oh.
And so I went and shook his hand. And I said, it's an honor to meet you. And he said, it's an honor to meet you.
Wow.
And we shook hands, and I took a picture.
You got a picture with him. You posted his birthday every year.
Yeah, he's my buddy.
You guys have kept in touch.
He's 91.
91.
We've kept in touch, me and Gene. Yep. And I'll never let that joke die.
You shouldn't.
Because one of these years he's going to die, and then I'm going to be able to write this beautiful tribute to my buddy Gene.
Yeah.
And there are some people I think that believe me.
Well, they should.
They should.
You did meet him. You do have a picture with him. Yeah.
Who's the most famous person you ever met?
Grant Hill.
Grant Hill. Oh, I think we may have done this.
Basketball player.
Yeah.
I don't know who else I met that was famous.
Hmm.
I mean, my aunt's, I guess, pretty famous.
Oh, yeah?
In, like, the fitness community.
I've never heard of her. Oh.
Mia Finnegan. You can look her up.
Okay, I'll look her up.
Yeah. She's world-renowned.
We need to find some people to interview. I think we had talked about your uncle, possibly.
Oh, yeah, he's down.
I got a couple
He listened to
people
the
in
pod.
mind.
He enjoyed it.
Oh,
He
good.
said he'll jump on.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
He can answer.
Do we know any crazy people? Because I'd love to have a crazy person on.
What do you mean? What do you define crazy in your eyes?
Like whacked out kooky.
Well,
like nutso.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to list names, but we know some people.
Yeah.
One of them might be a brother-in-law.
Would it
of
be
ours.
a good interview?
Yeah, maybe.
We got to make a list of
Eric's
crazy
pretty
people.
Crazy. Well,
yeah, he's not whacked out
he's
kooky
a tame
though.
crazy.
Yeah, he's pretty grounded.
COVID.
Yeah, let's make our list of crazy people we know and figure out which one would be a good interview.
Or even interesting. I know. There's one guy I know that's.
But crazy's entertaining.
Yeah, crazy is. Crazy would be.
Yeah,
but it's hard to make fun of someone when you're on the phone. They're doing you a favor.
No, but the next episode we can make fun of them.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, and then you have clips of they're crazy. Like you have drops. And you can get
we
rid
forgot
of
to
Mrs.
make fun of
Foz.
Frankie this episode. Dang it.
Oh,
just kidding, Frank. Yeah, so we should make a list of people because I think it's fun when we have interviews. I thought
I want to talk to Frank, the guy that Frank worked with that
with
wore
the Barbie dolls.
the raccoon
Oh,
hat.
that too. Yeah.
Or the Barbie dolls on the arms and legs stuck to the side of his car. Like those are people.
Jeez.
I need a little more info, right?
Yeah. See, but it's hard to ask people about their crazy.
I mean, I met a drunk guy in town a couple weeks ago. He was crazy because he was drunk, but he kept asking me if I wanted to fight him.
Really?
Yeah. So you want to fight? And I'm like, not really, man. Like, can I just help you get where you're going? So you want to fight me? I'm like, I don't think you want to fight me. Like,
would you want to fight about
like he was 3 sheets to the wind, as my father would say.
I know who we can interview that's crazy.
Who?
And I love to touch my leg. Here's the thing. You know the thing, all right?
I learned. What did he say? He learned about?
I learned about roaches. I learned about kids touching my leg, and I love it when they sit on my lap. You know what he sounds like a little bit. You ever watch Family Guy?
Yeah.
And there's the crazy old
grandpa.
Yeah, the old pervert, basically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Jimmy. Yeah. He sounds like him a little bit. And he loved to touch my leg.
$1 bet.
$1 bet, okay.
Let's do a $1 bet. Joe Biden, does he make it his full term?
Oh, what are you saying?
Because we know he's not going to run again. Even Democrats are saying, who's going to run in 2024? So we know he's not going that far. I'm saying doesn't make it the full term. It's not looking too good. He's a year in.
I'm saying it does.
Okay, $1 bet.
$1 bet?
Here on Two Broke Dads.
I think that about wraps us up.
So you know what we
tonight.
got to do?
Keep it on the Gooch.
Gooch, baby.
Peace. I'm not clowning. I'm not clowning tonight.